From fights on the pitch to hardcore betrayals, Messi has a lot of players who hate him. Stick to the end to see why Gerard Piqué and Messi hate each other now. But to start, Sergio Ramos actually hates Messi? So you know how Sergio Ramos and Lionel Messi are now playing together in PSG and absolutely crushing it in the league? It's easy to forget that there used to be bad blood between the two players. On the field, Ramos and Messi had their fair share of clashes, and Messi hasn't been too thrilled with Ramos's rough tackles. As the top teams in the Spanish league, clashes between Real Madrid and Barcelona always have the players going hard. And Sergio Ramos couldn't help but let out his frustration at Leo's insane charge with some aggressive gameplay. So while they used to be enemies back when they played in La Liga, they're now on the same side and ready to take on the world of football. Messi even said it felt a bit strange playing alongside Ramos at first, but he's been praising the defender ever since he joined the team. If you think Ramos hated Messi back when they were in the Spanish league, you won't believe how much the next player hates the Argentine. The game of football is filled with passion and an unrivaled need to win attitude. No one feels the pressure to impress more than the players. Real Madrid's Royston Drenthe had some deep-seated hatred for Messi when Leo made some obscene comments in the heat of a game. In 2010, during a pre-season friendly between Barcelona and Hercules, our boy Lionel Messi was on the pitch doing his thing when he crossed paths with Royston Drenthe, a loanee from Real Madrid. Drenthe thought he was all that and attempted to show off his fancy footwork in front of Messi, but he ended up tripping over his own feet while trying to pull off some stepovers. Well, unfortunately for Drenthe, Messi was lurking nearby and he quickly scooped up the loose ball. He then proceeded to leave the man in the dust with some sick close control. That got Drenthe riled up and he actually got into a bit of a scuffle with Messi during the game. Drenthe accused Messi of making some racist comments during the fight, saying that Messi kept calling him the N-word. However, this accusation was proven false by the Barcelona team, who stood up for him, saying that Messi has always shown respect and sportsmanship towards his opponents. You think Royston Drenthe hated Messi? Boy, you are in for a shock, as the next player was ready to get into a physical fight with Leo. Things got heated between two of Argentina's finest footballers, Nicolas Berizzo and Leo Messi. During the 2011 Copa America, tensions were running high as Argentina faced the possibility of an early elimination from their own tournament. On the pitch, Berizzo and Messi got into a heated argument about something, and it almost escalated into a full-blown brawl. In an interview, we later hear that the cause of the beef was that Messi wanted the ball, but Berizzo couldn't give it to him. Once they got into the locker room, things got even more heated when Berizzo confronted the superstar. A fight almost broke out, and it was thanks to the effort of the Barcelona team that a brawl was avoided. It's clear that Messi has a strong personality, and he expects his teammates to play at his level, and this can lead to making enemies real fast. If you thought that Berizzo hates Messi, wait till you hear what this famous Real Madrid player has to say about the man. Get this, guys! Alvaro Arbeloa, the former Real Madrid defender, has a bone to pick with Lionel Messi. Despite acknowledging Messi's undeniable talent, Arbeloa just can't seem to enjoy watching him play, and it's all because he's a Barcelona player. Arbeloa had to face Messi several times in Clásicos, and even though he's retired now, his loyalty to Real Madrid is still so strong that he can't bring himself to enjoy watching the Argentine in action. Arbeloa is even counting down the days until Messi retires from football altogether. Harsh, but you gotta respect the guy's loyalty. It's clear that the rivalry between Real Madrid and Barcelona runs deep, and Arbeloa is not about to let go of that anytime soon. Now, there's no doubt that Arbeloa dislikes Messi, but it's nothing compared to the next guy who got his entire country disrespected by Messi. Okay, listen up. After Argentina got whooped by Brazil 2-0 in the semi-final of the 2019 Copa America, Lionel Messi dropped some seriously spicy shots. He straight up accused CONMEBOL of playing dirty and rigging the whole competition to give Brazil an advantage because they were hosting the tournament on their own turf. Well, let's just say that the Brazilian Dani Alves wasn't having any of that. He's Messi's pal and all, but he had to clap back. Dani Alves criticised Messi for disrespecting the Seleção and several professionals who worked harder to compete in the 2019 Copa America tournament. He also stated that he's a friend who always speaks the truth and believes that Messi was wrong for making such remarks. Now, props to Dani for sticking up for his country. It seems like other than this, the Brazilian has no issues with the Argentine. But the next guy causes a ruckus so much that Messi has to watch out whenever he sees him on the pitch. Messi and Pepe have some serious beef on the pitch. As a hardcore Mourinho guy, Pepe made it his life's mission to shut down Messi whenever he had the ball. And let me tell you, some of Pepe's tackles were just plain brutal. It's like he was trying to make Messi out of the game for good. To make matters worse, Pepe is tight with Ronaldo, who was Messi's biggest rival for years. So you know there was some serious bad blood there. But even with all the tension, Messi and Pepe never got into any serious fights off the pitch. They've actually said some pretty nice things about each other in interviews. But when it came to football, they were enemies for sure. But if you thought Pepe was an enemy, you wouldn't believe what this guy tried to pull. On the surface, it seemed like Wout Weghorst used to admire Messi, but his actions at the World Cup semi-final showdown proves otherwise. You see, Argentina had taken an early lead, but Weghorst was fighting back now. Not only was Weghorst killing it with the goals, he also landed some brutal fouls on Leo, something which Messi would not soon forget. After the final whistle with Argentina winning the penalty shootout, Weghorst approached Messi, stretching out his hands as a sign of respect, but Messi brushed him off and refused to speak to him. I mean, on the pitch, he was out for Messi's blood, and now he's trying to be friendly. During the post-match interview, Messi spots Weghorst and calls him out. The Argentinian shouted, "What are you looking at, fool? Get back here." It's never fun to see players getting into it like this, but I guess emotions can run high when it comes to such a high-stakes match. But if you think the bad blood is strong between these two, in the next one, Messi almost killed this next guy. Did you catch the epic showdown between Lionel Messi and Mapu Yango during Barcelona's match against Roma? It's an all-out brawl, and Messi showed he wasn't messing around. Apparently, Roma was down 1-0 after Neymar's goal, and Mapu lost his temper and got all up in Messi's face. But Messi wasn't about to back down, and he responded by headbutting Mapu and grabbing him by the throat. One word, insane. Luckily, Leandro Castan was there to play peacekeeper and break up the fight. The ref could have easily sent both players off with red cards, but he opted for yellow instead, since the game was kind of a big deal. And get this, Messi even managed to get a sweet revenge by scoring Barcelona's second goal just 7 minutes later, further adding to Mapu's anger. Just like a bolt of lightning strikes suddenly, Messi seems to make enemies on the pitch in a flash. If you thought Messi's reaction to Mapu's insane tackles were bad, just wait till you learn about the ultimate betrayal in football. There's some bad blood between Lionel Messi and Gerard Piqué, and it all started when Piqué conspired with the top dogs at Barcelona to get Messi released from the team. Apparently, Piqué begged Barcelona not to renew Messi's contract in order to save the club's finances. Even though Messi offered to make a massive 50% pay cut, which would have saved the team a whopping £425 million over 4 years, Barca's president Juan Laporta still said they couldn't afford to keep him. Messi obviously didn't take kindly to this, and when he found out what Piqué had done, he left a message in the locker room for him to see. The message read Judas in big letters. When Piqué saw the message, he asked Jordi Alba who had written it. Alba told him it was Messi and that the message was for him. That's got a sting. I mean, Piqué and Messi go way back, having come up through the youth team system at La Masia Academy and then playing together on the senior squad for a solid 14 years. You can understand how much Piqué's betrayal affected the Argentine. This whole mess caused a rift between the two superstars, and it looks like they just can't patch it up. Now, while that was crazy, if you want to see the 12 times Lionel Messi shocks the world, watch this video.